Okay, hello class. Now, in our last lesson, we talked about how important it is to prepare in advance to be successful in your career. We've been discussing how there's multiple career pathways you can take. There are career clusters that you can choose from that fit your unique skills, your unique gifts and talents. And so as we decide what do you want to do uh, as far as a career goes, and what do you like to do and what would you be good at, you're going to be building a resume. You're going to be getting the education and the skills training that you need to be as successful as you can in that career pathway. And so at some point, you're going to need to find a job, and you're going to want to review what jobs are out there that fit your skills the best. So let me ask you a question. Has anyone in the class ever applied for a job? Not many of you. It looks like nobody's applied for a job. Well, you're still in school, but at some point, you're going to need to apply for a job. And so if you want to find out, well, what skills do I need? What do I need to be able to do for this job or that job? How do you find those things out? Well, if you've ever walked by a store that says in the sign, they have a little, in the window, they may have a sign that says help wanted. You could just walk into the store and say, oh, I might be interested in working here. Tell me about the job. And the person there would tell you about the job. Or if you ever saw someone reading a newspaper, they have help wanted ads in the newspaper, and you can read a little bit about, well, someone's hiring for whatever type of job. You can make a phone call or go visit them. And then nowadays online, you could go online and find all kinds of job listings online. Has anyone ever heard of a job listing or a job search website? So one person said Google. That's a good answer because you could pretty much search for anything on Google. But I'm looking for a website that specifically is focused on finding jobs. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Google because that was a good suggestion. And using my screen here, so here I am on Google, and I'm going to search for job search sites. Here we go, job search sites. I'll click on that. And so here at the top, you know, if you use Google, there's a few paid ads that come up. I look at those a little bit, but they're not often what I'm really looking for. Here's an article about what somebody thinks are the best 15 job sites to meet your career goals. That might be a good article to read. I find this box pretty helpful. What's the best site for a job search? And look at that. Right off the bat, I get a list of at least 8, and there's going to be more. One's called Indeed.com. One's called CareerBuilder.com. Dice.com, it says, is a great site if you're looking for a technology job. There's many more. So what if I went up to my search, my bar here, and I just typed in Indeed.com. So it looks like a nice simple site, how to find jobs, get some reviews on different companies that hire me, well, that could hire me. Maybe I have a certain salary level I'm looking for. But if I knew what type of job I wanted, and if I knew where I wanted to work, I could just see what Indeed comes up with. So let's say I want to be a communications coordinator. It comes up right there, communications coordinator. And let's say I live in a small town near Virginia Beach, Virginia, or maybe in North Carolina, where I'm not too far away from Virginia Beach. But maybe there aren't a lot of jobs in the small town I live in. So I might have to be prepared to drive a little bit of ways to a bigger city where there might be some more jobs. So if all I do is I type in a job title, communications coordinator, I could type in a company name if there was a certain company I was looking for, and then I could type in, whatever location I wanted. But let's see what happens. I'll click on Find Jobs, and here it says this is the first page of 312 jobs. So I have a lot of jobs that I could look for here. And I could narrow down my search a little bit if I wanted. I just clicked on this one. Now this isn't a communications coordinator. This is a clinical director, a physical therapist. So not all the matches are going to be exactly the same. And you're also going to see that if I went to careerbuilder.com or to dice.com, not all of the same jobs are listed either, because the companies that are looking for people to hire, well, they pay to have their ads listed on these sites. So it makes sense to try some different job search engines. But here's one. It's the city of Virginia Beach. That would be the employer. So if you got hired, you would work for the city of Virginia Beach. And I've heard that's not a bad idea because, county government or city and state government, you could have really good benefits. We're going to learn about benefits in this class later. But what if I clicked on this, Media and Communications Coordinator 2? And so here we get a little bit of information about the job. And if we wanted to apply, we could click on this and it says you actually have to go to the company's website. So it might be interesting to click on that and see what the company's website looks like. And sure enough, it moves nice and fast. The city of Virginia Beach, beautiful photo of Virginia Beach. And if we scroll down a little bit, this is the job listing that we're looking for. And notice that it has a 2 at the end. If it's Media and Communications Coordinator 2, that means there must be a 1, and maybe there's a 3. So that typically means that if you don't have a lot of experience, maybe you apply for level 1. Or if you have a lot of experience and a lot of education, you could apply for level 3, and you would get paid more. And there might be other benefits to that. But what's nice is as you look through this, you can see here are the duties that you need. If you were to do this job, the duties you would have to perform. Here are the minimum requirements of what's expected for someone in this job, the preferences of experience and education, and any special instructions that you would need to apply. Now, I'm going to stop my share here for a second because what I want to do is I want to do a little exercise with you. And so I have actually printed out on our handout this job, the job that we just searched for. I've already found it before. And that's what this job is. So everyone's going to have a highlighter. And we're going to go through and we're going to try to find aspects of this job that match a certain person's skills and experience. And so if you were doing this yourself, you would have your own resume or a list of your own skills and experiences. And the second handout here is a resume. And you can see it's a resume of someone named John Smith. So in a way, you're going to kind of pretend like you're John Smith today. And John Smith has his skills and his experience listed here. His education is listed here. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare the job listing and the resume and see if this is a good fit. And if it's a good fit, we'll decide whether or not John Smith should apply for the job. What's a good way to compare those things? That's a lot of information to compare. So I'm going to hand out this little job search table. And you can see it's a blank table. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at the resume and we're going to write down what's the education level in my resume? What's the education level required in this job? Are they a good match? We're going to write down what location do I live in and what location is the job? Is it too far away or is it close enough for me to get there and not have to spend too much time traveling? Also, we're going to look at, what kind of degree I may have. Well, that's part of the education. What type of experience I've already had, jobs or internships or apprentices or anything that could be considered experience. And also just skills, like maybe you need to have certain types of personal skills that would really be beneficial for this job. So what we're going to do is we're going to break into groups of 2 people. Okay, so quietly and quickly, I want you to sit next to somebody. We're going to get out your handouts and get out your magic markers, your highlighters, and I want you to highlight right off the bat, what's the location? Just we can get started. Up at the top, you can see John Smith. It looks like he lives in Virginia Beach. We're going to highlight that, and then we're going to go to the job listing and say, where is it? Well, it's in the city of Virginia Beach, and we'll put those things on our chart. So please go ahead and write down what's the location of the person applying and what's the location of the job. Very good. Now we're going to go and look for education. How much education does John Smith have? At the bottom of his resume, it looks like he has a bachelor's degree. So we're going to write he has a bachelor's degree, and his bachelor's degree is in arts and humanities, which I think applies well to this. And what's the qualifications in the job description? Can anyone find the education qualifications in the job description? Very good. I hear someone said page 2, under minimum qualifications, we can see it requires, I'll read it to you, it requires any combination of education above high school level, so that could be an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree or so on, or experience equal to 6 years in public relations, communications, or a marketing job. So we have a section here for experience and a section here for degree. Fill in that information in your chart and then complete the entire chart for me. You have about 20 minutes to complete that chart. Actually, what I'll do is I'll walk around the class while you and your partner are completing the chart. And if anyone has any questions or concerns, then you can just go ahead and ask me and I'll come and help. So now that we've completed our chart, I'll ask you, do you think that John Smith is a good fit for this job? So some of you do think he's a good fit. So he should probably apply for this job. And later in this class, we'll go through the process of applying for a job. Today, we're just really searching for jobs. But I agree. I think he's a good fit for the job. Now, let me ask you this. Should he still look for other jobs if he's a good fit for this job? Good. Yes, I think he should, because just because he applies for the job doesn't mean he's going to get the job. But why waste time applying for jobs if you're not a good fit in the first place? You need to be confident that you're a good fit, and then you apply for the job. And maybe you will get the offer, or at least get the interview, and then you can be confident that you'll do well. So let me ask a question. Thumbs up or thumbs down to everyone. Was this a difficult exercise for you? So I see some thumbs up. Why was this difficult? Because sometimes the resume and the job listing are hard to match up. That does make it sort of difficult. And that's why we have to read them both carefully, and that's why we use this table to try to stay organized. What else? What else was difficult in this? Well, that's a good point, because if we had a lot of jobs that we wanted to apply to, then it would take a lot of time to go through all of these, and that can be difficult to stay organized and to keep together. So, but wouldn't it be great if you could find a job that you would do really well at, that was close to where you lived, and that paid you well so that you could make some good money? Here's another question. Was any of this fun? Was it fun for you? A few people had fun. Why did you have fun? Because you like doing things that are like puzzles. So filling out the chart, it's kind of a fun thing to match up, and you feel like you've actually accomplished sort of part of a puzzle. And so I thought it was fun as well. So, so now for the next 20 minutes, what we're going to do is we're going to do an individual job search where we're going to break, no more pairs, no more teams. We're going to break apart, and you're going to look for, I have another resume and another job that are completely different than the ones we just did, and you'll try to find all the qualifications and match them with the skill level of the person on the resume. So you'll have about 20 minutes to complete that, and then just raise your hand if you have a question or if you need any help, and then I'll come around.